Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Wally Weasel, and here we are with a behind-the-scenes type video for episode, what was it, 39, I want to say? I'm going to say 39. I got to really check that out. Just double check here. Episode, yes, 39. And yes, if you've seen the episode, then you know what I'll be talking about. If you haven't, then go back and watch it, because what are you watching a behind-the-scenes episode for when we're just going to be talking spoilers, and you don't want to see spoilers here? No, you want to watch the episode, then you want to come back and hear about the spoilers. Because, yeah, if you did watch the episode, then, well, you might have questions about how some of the things came about. And I think I know, I mean, like, if you're interested in the whole, like, kind of technical type stuff, then, stick around, because that's what this behind-the-scenes episode is all about. And, yeah, there are 4 special details about this show, 2 of which you probably wouldn't have known about. Unless I made errors in my commentary, which I hope I didn't come across that way. But yeah, so we'll talk about the 2 minor details, and then we'll discuss the 2 bigger ones and where I think things went wrong. So minor detail number 1 is there was supposed to be a Matt Hardy feud-related promo to kind of push things between him and Pimp Daddy. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the game just decided no. It booked it, and then it just said, no, we're not going to do a Matt Hardy promo. Which is fine, because I didn't really have anything in mind for him to say, because it was a feud promo, so it was designed by the game. So, probably would have played out, but I don't know. We'll see if it comes up again later on with the next episode, number 40, which should be a nice round number. Aside from that, that's, again, minor little problem. It's not really anything technical. It's just interesting that it had it booked and it just didn't decide to do it. The other thing is a lot of the matches were recorded out of order for the first time in a long time, really. Because, usually when I record matches, I record them as the show, because in universe mode you can design a show, and that's how you get all your promos, that's how you get all your run-ins and stuff like that. And this one was recorded way out of order. Not just the promos, but the matches themselves. Like the main event, the special tag match, which we will be getting onto for problems that, well, not really problems, just details. That was recorded halfway in the middle of the show, and the other tag match, the Vixen's tag match, was recorded at the end. That was supposed to be the main event, but after running through the other tag match, it just made sense to make, the Disgruntled Clown, Natural Greatness handicap situation the main event, because that was just action-packed. So, that was the main event, and, the other tag match was relegated to more so opening the show. Mainly because I needed an opportunity to explain the ending, which I could have explained better. I'll admit. I was kind of not certain on what to do with it. The only reason I kept it was because it was a fairly long match, and I was kind of tired, and I just didn't want to re-record. Also, aside from that, I just want to show off some technical problems, because, sometimes it's fun to show the technical problems. Not all episodes need to be run perfect. We have to show our imperfections, and, I'm calling out games for their imperfections and stuff like that. So, who am I to stand here and be all like, oh, I'm the best? But, because I'm not. So, speaking of the Vixen's tag match, we'll just go straight there. And, standard stuff happens. Roxy is portrayed as uncharacteristically heel, particularly going for a weapon, and, dragging the sledgehammer out fairly quickly, as opposed to just looking for something. But whatever, I can work with that. But the thing is the ending. Yes, the ending where Catherine had Crystal pinned for, basically, I'm pretty sure if I were still recording, she would still be pinning her. Because typically when you pin someone in the game, it starts the pin escape mini game, which is like, a little circle thing, and you just push X when the bar gets to the green portion. I think it's the green portion. Whichever portion it is that stands out from the rest. You can check out what that is from back at SummerSlam, with Roger Desmond versus Jamie Hill, and one episode I can't recall. I know it's probably one of the November episodes leading into Christmas Chaos or Survivor Series, where Violence John was in the ring with Charles Manstead, and hit him with the couple of moves there and just pinned him. Those were done with one player facing the computer, so it would automatically show the mini game. Could not figure out a way to erase that, but yeah. So if you're just curious about how that mini game works, that's how it goes. It starts when the referee goes down to begin the count, and then it continues after the 1 count, and then after the 2 count, and then obviously there's no mini game after the 3 count because that's it. You're not King Kong Bundy. You're not going to get a 5 count. Which do you really need a 5 count? If you beat him after a 3 count, isn't that kind of still beat him with a 5? Well, whatever. Anyways, they really went anywhere. I'm surprised they don't bring that kind of thing back. Oh well. Anyways, so what I think happened is Ida made the save right before the minigame should have popped up again, because I think it was a 2 count, so there would have been the one more minigame for Crystal to kick out, and because Ida hit the referee just before or just after probably the previous minigame ended, it didn't go around again because the referee was knocked down, and as a result Catherine had no reason to end the pin, and Crystal had no chance of kicking out. And so the referee, when he got back up, I think was maybe stuck in that whole situation, like he was waiting for the minigame to play out, but again, because the minigame couldn't play out, he couldn't start up another count, and therefore Crystal couldn't break out, and therefore Catherine had no reason to break up the pin herself. That's what I'm thinking happened. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could just be, again, it is a glitch. It's just a glitch. We'll just call it a glitch. But yeah, so that's what I think happened there. And to the main event. But yeah, actually going back to the the Vixen tag. I did have to think of a way for it to end, and I figured, the best way would be maybe Bayley throws in the towel, and just says Roxy is just not herself, so we're just gonna not accept a win. Again, it's not the best way I could have ended it, but thinking on my feet, that's the best way I could come up with something, and therefore that match went on before the Harem versus Emily match, because I needed a chance to actually explain that. And the only other match that I had left to record at that point was an Emily, not the Emily, but the Harem coming down to the ring, because there's sometimes I record stuff off to the side, just like special entrances, or if I need certain kind of matches, like I recorded the Dork Killer and Doink confrontation in the backstage as an aside, and then just added in with the show. When it comes to the main event, that one was kind of tricky, because it was set up as a feud match, and when you have a feud match, you just can't touch it. If you touch it in any manner, like if you try to change the opponents, change the stipulation, change anything about it at all, even if you go to just look at the options and then go back, then that's it. Like the feud marker is gone. It just disappears, and it just becomes a normal match. So I did not touch it, and it was originally slated as Scrumble Clown and Violence John versus King Valentine and Moose. And I was not, the whole reason why there's no entrance is kind of a side thing, is because I just didn't want to have to sit through the King Valentine entrance. That entrance is 3 minutes long, and I just didn't want to have to do anything with that, because I didn't want to sit here and go oh, King Valentine, big guy, yeah. So, I was just kind of worn out at that point. So I just turned the entrances off with that match, and then, had the during the break thing happen as a result before then. But that's not what we're here talking about. We are here talking about the whole Moose and King Valentine still being there, but not being the opponents. And this is not something I had set up. I don't even think you can have 2 managers in a tag match. Maybe you can, but they weren't outside the ring. That's the thing. They were on the apron the entire time, acting as if they were just waiting to be tagged in. Unfortunately, there is no triple threat tag match or anything of that kind, which kind of sucks. I wish there were. Like triple threat tags or four corner tags, or this would be kind of interesting. I'm not certain if they are already going on in the other games. I think the latest game will have them. I think the 2K22 has like fatal 5 ways and stuff like that. I think. I don't know. There's no reason for me to really look into that. I mean, you can look into that, but... And here I am rambling. But what I think basically happened there was Moose and King Valentine were originally supposed to be the opponents, but every now and then what happens is if you enter into a show, like the show card, where you're setting everything up, and then you exit and then you come back, for feud matches, sometimes the opponents will change, like the ones that aren't affected by the feud status. In this case, it was Disgruntled Clown and Violence John who were affected by the feud status, so they could not be erased from the match, but their opponents, it just didn't matter. Like, they could fight Spectational, they could fight Rough and Tough, they could fight Area 51, they could fight, Natural Greatness, or King Valentine and Moose, who are still labeled as a tag team. They could just fight anyone. Basically, as long as they're a tag team, that's the only requirement. So, at the last minute, it was changed to, Natural Greatness, and then when going to load into the match, it reverted back to King Valentine and Moose. So they were still kind of there, but not really. Like, they weren't supposed to be. But the game was just kind of, flip-flopping between them. And then as a result, King Valentine and Moose were at the ring. And they were on the Natural Greatness side. And yeah, if you didn't catch it, my whole reasoning was, well, after a while, my whole reasoning was that Roger Desmond had just basically paid them off to work as his bodyguards, as it were, in order to ensure that he would survive the match against like 2 FUBAR competitors and make it to WrestleMania unscathed. And yeah, they didn't really do much, but they're imposing forces. But it kind of gives me ideas for moving forward on what I can do between Disgruntled Clown and either King Valentine or Moose. I'm kind of leaning towards Moose because I haven't really done much with him, and then King Valentine, his whole giant killing giant storyline did kind of fizzle out because he hasn't really beaten any giants. Like, he did it for Blith Omega, and then he did it for Canuck, and he did it for Canuck again, and then he lost all of them. So I'll probably just leave him on the back burner for a bit and just focus on Moose because I like Moose. Moose is a good guy, and I can't wait to do his biography because I got some behind the scenes type stuff that I don't think anybody would really realize is the birth of Moose. And yes, I know I keep saying profiles. Profiles are coming. Profiles are going to be written. I just got to actually get around to doing it. Hopefully within the next few weeks. I know, like, before WrestleMania, it would be nice to have at least a few profiles up. But yeah, we'll see. Until then, that's basically all about it. Just, some behind-the-scenes factoids about this, past episode of Whassup Wrestling. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed it, even with the glitches involved. And, yeah, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.